As the city grew, Fort York had bravely hung on at the edge of the lake. It was almost ploughed under for the waterfront expressway, but survived.
When the town of York became incorporated as the city of Toronto in 1834, this is what the officers' mess here at Fort York would have looked like. And it was occupied at that time by the 15th Regiment, an East Yorkshire regiment.
We've been operating as a museum since 1934 when it opened as part of the city's centennial celebrations. People don't realize how significant Fort York is, that this is the real deal. This is an authentic War of 1812 site. It's right under our noses in downtown Toronto. We need to protect it. The 43-acre site includes 2 cemeteries. It includes the walled portion of the fort, and it includes an area that we refer to as the Garrison Common, 10 to 15 acres just outside the west gates of the fort.
A remembrance service is held here every year and especially honors the soldiers of Upper Canada, the natives and Americans who lost their lives in the War of 1812.
One week ago today, I stood a short distance from here on Nathan Phillips Square to join in a tribute to the 68,000 Canadian soldiers who gave their lives protecting our precious freedoms and our way of life during the First World War. Nearly 10,000 of them had called Toronto their home. From a turn-of-the-century population of 400,000 people, about 70,000 Torontonians enlisted in the Canadian Forces. 1 in 7, nearly 10,000 combatants, did not come back. The young Canadian soldiers slaughtered capturing Vimy Ridge in April 1917 have been joined in our memories by the tens of thousands lost in the battles of World War II, the Korean conflict, peacekeeping, and during the present-day war in Afghanistan.
Every year, they are all remembered.
Join me in a toast to our fallen comrades, and let us not forget those who have served since Korea and in Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, fallen comrades. Fallen comrades.
I think it's a day when you sit down and you want to spend a bit of time with yourself. And you want to go over the memories of the halls of Jarvis Collegiate. You remember those guys and you remember the ladies that went too. You remember your own little personal battles. You remember people that you buried. And you remember the guys who were killed in Korea and the ones that have been killed since then, or have died on UN postings.
They fought in the Fenian raids in the 1860s, sent troops to Western Canada when Louis Riel rebelled in 1885, and a large contingent went to South Africa to fight in the Boer War. Torontonians fought and died as the nation came of age at Vimy Ridge. Many of the injured returned to Toronto to be cared for at an old typewriter factory on Christie Street. This would be the first major military hospital.
Christie Street was really a pest hole, that's what it amounted to. And people like Lady Eaton and others that were out on Yonge Street in Toronto in front of Pantages Theatre urging people who came out of the theatre sign this petition to get Mackenzie King to get us a new hospital because it's an absolute disgrace as to what our veterans are being dealt with at this particular time. So they built Sunnybrook Hospital, the major military hospital in Canada.
Sunnybrook has grown into a general hospital, but still is home to some 500 veterans in its famous Warriors Wing. Warriors from Dieppe to Korea to Kandahar.
I've noticed in the last 5 years since we've been out in Afghanistan that any time I've been going to a veterans function, I'm wearing my medals or I'm wearing my beret, and people will come up to me and say, "Are you a veteran?" And I'll say, "Yes," and they say, "Thank you." Never happened before.
For more information, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.